XRP has completed its Wave 2 correction, and now we begin one of the most aggressive Wave 3 moves to the upside. I just want to make sure that everybody's prepared for it. So we're going to get right on into this update. All of our community resources are linked up down below and at zachrector.com. And I did want to let you guys know that I just dropped a new trading lesson, Futures 101, the basics of how to trade futures. This is the secret sauce on how I use the futures to both hedge and leverage my investments in the cryptocurrency space. I also included a unique arbitrage opportunity that nobody else is talking about or taking advantage of that I've been able to see. So that's going to be linked up down below. If you guys want to get tapped in there, go ahead. We appreciate your support. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says that future trade deals may allow the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates. So this is really one of the first comments that we've seen lately from Jerome Powell, hinting, leaning towards, yes, we might actually give you a rate cut here soon. And this is just going to be more fuel that's going to drive this Wave 3 pump for XRP and all of the digital assets for that matter. When you combine legislation for stablecoin and market structure bill getting passed, that's more fuel on this fire. So we have Senator Bill Hagerty making the rounds on Bloomberg today. He says he's looking forward to working on market structure as the House moves to send the Genius Act to President Trump's desk to sign. And so they are suggesting that we should move forward with the stablecoin legislation and do a separate market structure bill. There's been some talks of trying to combine the two within the House. We don't want to see that. We want to just move this process forward. Stablecoin, it's a clean bill. Just like President Trump said, get it to my desk, let's get it signed. It's a matter of national security. So the stablecoin legislation, we're hoping that they've already approved it in the Senate. It's in the House. We're waiting for a vote. They need to get it done, and then it can go to President Trump. Senator Cynthia Lummis echoing the same thoughts. We needed to pass market structure legislation yesterday. The time is now. Well, we're waiting for you guys in D.C. to get your act together. We're waiting for Senator Cynthia Lummis to reschedule that meeting with Brad Garlinghouse. Not going to be holding our breath on that one, but we are hoping that we can at least get this legislation passed. And I have to warn you guys, because I'm seeing so many people who want to wait for 100% confirmation. I put out some tweets here earlier today, and people, and I put out my prediction that Judge Torres was going to accept the SEC versus Ripple settlement this week. And people are saying, oh, this is just speculation. You have no grounds for this. I'm going to wait for 100% confirmation. People are saying the same thing about the market isn't going to do anything until regulations and laws get passed. Even though XRP just pumped almost 600%, XLM did 600%, HBAR did 800% before any laws or regulations were passed. But yet people still think that we need to wait. Now, of course, we expect substantial price appreciation after the laws and regulations get passed, but don't get caught off guard. And I want to make a point. Remember that markets are forward-looking. I think that many will be caught off guard by the pump leading up to the laws and regulations getting passed. Wave 3 is starting now before laws are passed. An aggressive pump starts now. And I'm not talking about this hour, not today, but the correction is over. The Wave 2 correction is over. So we are beginning Wave 3, but people want confirmation. I saw somebody said that they wanted to see XRP go above 340, and then that would confirm Wave 3. And this is why people don't win at investing, is because you're waiting for 100% confirmation. You have to speculate and make an educated bet at some point if you want to win big. Right? If you just wait for 100% confirmation, you're always going to be late. The whole game is to speculate and make your bet. Have some conviction. And so if you think that I'm going to sit here and wait for 100% confirmation, you are absolutely confused about how we are winning so big in these markets right now. The whole game is to speculate and make your bet, not wait for 100% confirmation. So yes, I'm going to speculate that Judge Torres, based off of real reasoning, I back up everything I put out. Some folks know I err on the side of being a little hype about XRP, but it's backed up by fundamentals and real analysis, always. There's a reason why I'm predicting that Judge Torres will drop it, announce the agreement this week. There's a reasons why I'm trying to warn people about the Wave 3 pump starting now before laws and regulations get passed. Don't get caught off guard. And I'm not just talking about it. I'm in an XRP long that's up 25% right now. after we nailed the Bitcoin short last week. You cannot wait for 100% confirmation if you want to knock it out of the park. Okay, if you want to hit singles, and hitting singles is great. Getting on base is great. But if you want to knock it out of the park, you better have some conviction and you better have a little bit of speculation, because eventually you got to make a bet. You got to put some money on the table. Now, Digital Asset Investor says, BlackRock head of digital assets, Robbie Mitchnick, says the quiet part out loud. If I've learned anything about Ripple in the last 7 years, it's that most don't leave, they're deployed. If you think that Robbie missed the part about XRP being created by Bitcoin developers to be a better Bitcoin, we got that dog tag for you right here. XRP, the better Bitcoin, you better believe it. You would be the perfect buyer of my igloo in South Georgia. And this is the same thing. People want to wait for the announcement that BlackRock's going to have a spot XRP ETF. We can't talk about BlackRock getting involved with XRP and having a spot ETF till it's 100% confirmed. That's not how you win at this game, folks. Get tapped in with us. Speaking of Ripple and their success, this is a big interview that's going to be dropping tomorrow. This is the podcast When Shift Happens, and they are hosting Chris Larson, one of the founders here of Ripple, and he was asked, what is Ripple's biggest achievement so far? Let's run the clip.
What's your biggest achievement with Ripple so far?
Well, I think that we've earned the trust, of this world of enterprise financial players and payment players, treasury operations. That takes a lot of work. I mean, you kind of look at it, I think we're in a pretty remarkable place in a very, very big industry. It takes a lot of work and consistency to get that position. So I love that we've succeeded in the position that we're in. And I love culture that we have, which is, hats off to Brad for continuing that, really staying pure to the culture. We have just some amazing, dedicated people that are working every single day with the right core values in their heart to make a positive impact on the world. It is not easy to do. It's very, very hard to do. I love where we are right now.
And it might not sound like the biggest deal, but it really is to understand what he just laid out, right? Confirming how long you have to be in this game and how long it takes to establish that trust with these traditional players in the banking and financial system. You can't just come knocking. You can't just cold call these guys. And that's the role that Chris Larson has played. He donates 10 million XRP to Kamala, just basically burning that XRP for everybody to see. We appreciate your sacrifice, Chris. We knew she had no chance of winning, so we appreciate you for doing so. Meanwhile, what are Brad and Stu doing? Well, they're playing the other side. They go to meet with President Trump. And that's how the game's played. That's how you get your foot in the door and you get your spot at the table. And then you got to deliver. And that's the big part. You got to deliver and keep on delivering with that consistency that he mentioned. That's why Ripple's so respected by all the traditional incumbents in banking and institutions of our financial system. 3iQ CEO drops a bombshell. No retail investor could ever buy XRP at the price we're getting it at globally. These guys are fighting for your business. This is one of the spot ETFs for XRP that went live in Canada. Let's run this clip.
So we, at the end of the day, when people buy our ETF, we take the cash, and then we call all of our liquidity providers globally, and we negotiate as little as possible to, in terms of the cost to do the transaction. No retail investor could ever buy XRP at the price that we're getting it globally. And we buy it and then we put it in cold storage. And what it does is we are some of the best in the world at tracking the price of XRP while holding the spot asset. So when you buy our ETF, you're getting really tight tracking of the price, and you're owning the actual underlying asset.
That's why they call this one a physically backed.
A physically backed ETF, correct.
Yeah, that's great.
They're much more complicated to run, but because we believe in the space and we believe that people should own the underlying, we go the distance to make sure that it's possible.
Nice interview by Crypto Eddie. Appreciate that clip. That was a good one. And the point being, he said they're dropping all the fees. That's the next thing that he was about to mention, but I'm cutting it off for the sake of time. But they're noting how their management fees are 0% for the next 6 months. They are fighting for your business. They want the attention. They want the money behind the XRP community. They know how strong the demand is for this asset. And so, like I've been saying, the suits are going to be selling it with slideshow presentations. suing for the ability to be able to sell these products, and they're dropping their fees down to zero to get that money coming in the door. They know what's coming. It's massive. XRP is mirroring a bullish pattern last seen in Bitcoin before it surged to 100,000. This is from CoinDesk. Price action has held firm between $2.26, $2 and $2.60, defying downward momentum with a technical signal flashing signs of stability. Some traders believe this could mark the start of a major upside move, 100%. And this is why the whales keep on loading up. From Dom, TraderView 2 on X. Wallets holding over 1 million XRP just hit an all-time high over the last few weeks, 2,850 wallets. Despite sideways price action for 6 months, people are still accumulating. Wallets holding over 10,000 XRP also have printed many new highs recently, with a 6.2% increase in holders year to date, 306,000 wallets. So a lot of new retail traders just getting into XRP over the past 6 months haven't been able to make it. They're getting frustrated, they're wearing thin. But the real ones in this community have been doubling down, tripling down, and this is why you're seeing that on-chain data reflect that. They understand that we're entering wave 3 now. Cassie trades. As XRP breaks into a wave 3 extension, we're entering uncharted price territory. Guys, this is the game. This is what I'm saying. Don't wait for the confirmation. You will be late. You are not going to knock it out of the park. Okay? Understand what's happening now. The correction is over. Wave 3 has begun. We're going to be moving higher very aggressively. There are no previous highs to act as resistance here, so we rely on fib extensions to map out likely exhaustion zones. The targets below are based on standard wave 3 projections from the low. Each level represents a possible pivot point where momentum may stall or reverse. Wave 3 moves tend to extend aggressively, often overshooting initial expectations. Price action into these zones, along with RSI behavior divergences, will help confirm whether we're nearing the top of the wave or still in a full extension mode. Take your guess, where does wave 3 find resistance? And these are fib levels that she has up at $6.75, $8.85, or $9.90, or maybe you think we go even higher. But the wave 3 extension has begun. And I went to Grok so that I could help explain this for you guys who don't know. This is from Elliott wave theory, a little bit of technical analysis. I'm not going to go deep on it, but I asked Grok, in Elliott wave theory, why are wave 3 moves the most aggressive? It's a confirmation of the trend. So that first wave establishes the initial move and the wave 2 corrects it. That's what we just went through. XRP back down to $1.90. Often shaking out weak hands, and we sure did. Rest in peace to those folks. They're going to be buying back in a lot higher. By wave 3, the market confirms the trend direction, attracting more traders and investors who now see the move as validated. Psychological momentum. Wave 3 is driven by a surge in confidence and conviction. As prices break key levels, fear of missing out kicks in. How about a little FOMO? Here it comes. And this is what fuels aggressive buying. Broad participation. Institutional and retail traders pile in during wave 3. How about some spot ETFs? Perfect time to go live during wave 3. How about a settlement agreement from Judge Torres? How about that to fuel a little wave 3? How about a stablecoin legislation? How about a market structure bill? How about a big, beautiful bill? Make that money printer go burr. Increasing volume and volatility. This wave often aligns with fundamental news or catalysts that reinforce the trend, amplifying the move. What did I just state? All of those catalysts to amplify the move. Technical characteristics. Wave 3 is rarely the shortest wave and often extends significantly, breaking through resistance or support levels with force. It tends to have the steepest slope and largest price range. We're going a lot higher, folks. As price moves rapidly, technical indicators like moving averages or breakouts align, triggering more trading algorithms and stop-loss orders, which further accelerate the move. In short, Wave 3 is the power move because it combines technical confirmation, psychological fervor, and heavy market participation, creating explosive price action. Folks, please lock in. Don't wait for confirmation. Prepare your portfolio now. God bless all of you guys. I'll see you in the next one. It's all linked up down below and at zachrector.com. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.